Hey, we're live, pal.
We are live, pal. Thank you, Jose. This is the voice of Alexander K. Lee here with you this morning or noontime local time in Las Vegas for the UFC 326 official weigh-in live stream. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. We will begin shortly, meaning I will shut up shortly as we await the stars. 26 fighters set to compete on Saturday's UFC 326 card. Of course, Max Holloway and Charles Oliveira with the BMF belt on the line in the main event. A run back from Saskatoon, UFC Saskatoon, many years ago. The only thing that would make this better is if they were rematching in Saskatoon, but I won't keep my hopes up that they'll hold a UFC event there anytime soon. What is up? What is up? Wheels up. I see you in the comments. What's up, everybody? It's good. It's good that they haven't started yet. Hopefully, a lot more people can get in here. I imagine we will see Max or Charles up first. But, Jose will have the scoop for you, of course. The great Jose Young is providing you this feed you are seeing now and has been boots on the ground in Las Vegas this whole week. So there you go. Here we go, guys. He's taking a look. Who do we see?
See Max right there. I see Max
right
with
there.
the sunglasses right there.
I'm not expecting too much drama. Just trying to see. I'm just keeping my notes right now. Who has records of missing weight? We've got Nurgazai has missed weight before in the past. I thought Ricky. No, it didn't. Okay, I thought Ricky Tercios did. Maybe no, maybe not. Bruno Fajeda had a big weight miss in his last fight, if I recall, against Marvin Vittori.
But according to Guillermo Cruz in his interview, he has slimmed down and promises to make weight. Big if true.
I would hope so. He's a little Hulk dude. Yeah, he's tough. He's a little Hulk dude. So he's in that weird tweener weight. It is difficult for him. I will say, definitely not tall enough to really be a light heavyweight and quite bulky. He's got that kind of Thiago Alves wide muscle build. It's a tricky place to be. Rob Font missed weight once, I think a long time ago, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, like 3 years ago. So Rob is pretty solid.
We'll probably. I see Drew right behind them.
Here we go, guys.
They look like two different weight classes. That's crazy.
They do. They're both
Max, Raul is right
I believe
there.
that's Raul Rosas Jr. coming up in the back as well. Yeah.
You already see the box of shame right next to me.
All right, thank y'all for being here for the official weigh-in for UFC 326, Holloway versus Oliveira 2. And we begin with the man around whom this fight card was built, former undisputed featherweight champion and the reigning defending BMF champion, future Hall of Famer, Max Blessed Holloway.
$155.5.
155.5, the official weight for Max Holloway. All right, next athlete to the scale, also competing on the main card live on Paramount Plus and CBS, Drew Dober.
Try to be. 156.
156, the official weight for Drew Dober. Next fighter to the stage, competing in a featured bout on the main card in the bantamweight division, Raul Rosas Jr. $135.5, the official weight for Raul Rosas Jr. All right, next fighter to the scale, competing live on CBS, the former undisputed UFC bantamweight champion, Cody No Love Garbrandt.
$136.
136 for Cody Garbrandt. All right, next man up, competing in a featherweight prelim, Bolaños.
$145.5.
145 and a half, the official weight for Gaston Bolaños. All right, next man up, charged with kicking off the CBS window as part of the late prelims in the middleweight division, Dante Johnson.
Whoa. Sorry, guys. Camera fell down.
185.5.
185 and a half, the official weight for Dante Johnson.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
All right, next man up, competing on the main card on both CBS and Paramount Plus in the lightweight division, the veteran Michael the Menace Johnson.
$155.5.
155 and a half, the official weight for Michael Johnson. All right, next man up, competing live on CBS in the middleweight division. Quick turn for this man, Cody Brundage.
$185.5.
185 and a half for Cody Brundage. All right, next man to the scale, competing in a light heavyweight prelim, Luke Fernandez.
$205.
205, the official weight for Luke Fernandez. All right, next man to the scale, competing in a flyweight prelim, Sumu Darji.
$126.
126, the official weight for Sumu Darji. All right, staying in the flyweight division now as we welcome Cody Custom Made Derby.
$125.5.
125 and a half, the official weight for Cody Derby. All right, next man to the scale, charged with kicking off the main card live on Paramount Plus and also CBS, the number 15 ranked middleweight contender, Bruno the Hulk Fajeda.
$184.
184, the official weight for Bruno Fajeda. All right, next man to the scale, competing in a light heavyweight prelim, Rafael Tobias. 204, the official weight for Rafael Tobias. All right, next man to the scale, the other half of the featured prelim in the bantamweight division, Xiaolong.
$135.5.
135.5 for Xiaolong. All right, next fighter up, competing in a flyweight preliminary bout, Niamjar Gol to Mendemberel.
$125.5.
125.5, the official weight for Niamjar Gol to Mendemberel. All right, next man to the scale, one half of the co-main event in the middleweight division, the number 8 ranked contender, Rainier de Ritter.
Come on. Like the minute podziału, closer. 185.5.
185.5, the official weight for RDR, Rainier de Ritter.
Four, three, two, one. Thank you, RDR. Appreciate you.
All right, next man to the scale, competing in a light heavyweight prelim, Dior Nurgojai.
$205.5.
205.5, the official weight for Dior Nurgojai. All right, next up, competing in a featherweight prelim, Ricky Turcios.
$146.
146, the official weight for Ricky Turcios. All right, next fighter to the scale, charged with kicking off the main card in the middleweight division, the number 13 ranked contender, Gregory RoboCop Rodriguez.
$186.
186, the official weight for RoboCop.
Thank you, Gregory.
All right, right back to the featherweight division now as we say hello to Alberto Montes.
$145.5.
145.5, the official weight for Alberto Montes.
Four, three, two, one. Thank you, Alberto.
All right, next man to the scale is the flyweight veteran Jesus Aguilar.
$125.5.
125.5, the official weight for Jesus Aguilar. All right, next man up in the light heavyweight division, Adolfo Bellato.
$204.5.
204.5, the official weight for Adolfo Bellato.
All right, there's your break, AK. No one's in line right now. There's our first break, ladies and gentlemen. No one is currently in line. I believe AK has accidentally muted himself because I can see his mouth moving.
Oh, I had my mute button on my device and in this application we are using. Hello, everyone. Yeah, sorry. That is our first break, as Jose has pointed out. We have seen Max Holloway weigh in for the main event. That's great. We have seen Reiner de Ritter weigh in for the co-main event. Holloway came in at 155.5. This is not a real title fight, as we know. It is a BMF title fight, but they do not have to hit the limit. They are allowed the 1 pound allowance, as if it is a non-title bout. So there you go. Let me send a little graphic, a little fancy doodle graphic to Jose, guys, and then I will get you caught up here. Yes, and I want to say who we have left. As I was muted, I was doing a thorough rundown on who we are waiting for. We have, of course, the other half of the main event, Charles Oliveira. We have the other half of the co-main event, Kyle Bahallo. Rob Font on the main card. We're also waiting for him, and we are waiting for Ju Sang Yu, the only preliminary fighter still to weigh in. We did see his opponent, Gaston Bolaños, who came in at 145.5. So no misses yet, guys. No drama. We'll keep you updated. Thank you, everyone, for joining. Let me catch up with some of the comments here. Michael Bass was saying, AK, you must be happy about Tom as the rest of us, right? I'm happy for Tom, I guess, and I'm happy for Eddie Hearn, I suppose, as happy as you can be for someone who's like a promoter who I don't know. But yes, I would be happy, I think, for most fighters, knowing that they're sort of thank you, Jose. There's the graphic, everyone. Knowing that they're sort of, taking these kind of steps to advance their careers. And obviously, if you're someone like Aspinall who has the resources and the connections to pair up with someone like Eddie Hearn, then go for it. But I think any fighter out there, it can be very hit or miss, especially down in the lower levels. I mean, you apparently, as it's been said many times, you don't really need a license or any sort of accreditation to be an MMA manager. So I guess I would say actually to aspiring fighters, like just be very careful about who's representing you. Be smart about it. If you need to represent yourself and you can do that, by all means, go for it. But if you can find competent management, it could be a very good thing for you. And I think we're all hoping it is for Tom. We're hoping Tom's eye injuries clear up. We're hoping he gets the bag, as the kids say, from the UFC for his next fight or whatever his next chance to negotiate is. And hopefully Eddie Hearn can play a big part in that. But I think a nice little bit of gamesmanship from the Matchroom Boxing boss after, of course, the heist of Conor Benn from via Dana White. So very curious to see how this all plays out. I don't know if I'm happy yet. Again, this doesn't mean anything yet. He signed with a talent agency. It's not a substantial win. We don't know what the returns on this are yet. But I would be very optimistic and say Tom Aspinall will be making much more money in the near future, which is great. That is a good thing. I'm Ignato. Says, hello, guys. Can't wait for the UFC 326. Good vibes. Okay, cool. Joseph Bose says, RDR still making excuses for losing to Brendan Allen. He fought 4 times in a year. Leave the man alone. But yes, Brendan Allen did beat him. Who else we got here? Jubes, man, these weigh-ins are going by fast. Yeah, especially since we got the esteemed Jeff Mullen from the Nevada State Athletic Commission at the scale. The fastest.
He came and shook my hand and said, nice to see you again. He was jealous.
How was it?
Okay. It was great. It's everything I know you hope.
Yeah, very. Did you? I mean, I'm not jealous. Did you tell him I said hello and that I greatly admire him?
I'd said if AK was here, he would say, and he was like, "You're weird," and I said, "Yes."
Okay, so it went perfectly. Okay, good. Thank you. That's exactly how I wanted that interaction.
Exactly.
Perfect. Thank you, Jose.
Anytime.
But yes, Jeff Mullen, very quick. I saw people commenting earlier, like, did the person even... I think we had a little bit of an audio desync, but even when the audio was corrected, yeah, he will go up and Jeff just kind of looks at it and listen, if it's close enough, he says he bangs that baby home. That's for me, honestly, that's the spirit of weigh-ins, guys. I hate, and obviously bangs those boys home.
AK. You gotta go. You gotta
I don't know
go.
what. I don't understand. What happened?
You gotta go.
But yeah,
That was
obviously,
over the top.
I genuinely, guys, cannot care about like 1/10 of an ounce, a pound, 2/10 of a pound. I'm not the fighter in there. I understand if you're the other fighter, you're like, well, that 1/10 and 2/10, I stayed an extra 10 minutes in the sun or 50 minutes to cut, so the other person should too. But the spirit of weigh-ins, guys, going back to the earliest days of fighting, is just to make sure that you're relatively around the same size. So I don't know. I understand from a fighter perspective, quibbling over tenth of a pound, 2/10 of a pound, ounces. I get it, but I kind of like the Jeff Mullen way of doing things. I'm not gonna lie, where obviously they're close enough in size and just go for it. What else do we see? Finn Hamilton asking, "Didn't Ju Sang Yu pull out?" Oh gosh, did I get this? I got this wrong, didn't I? Oh jeez. I'm sorry. Yes, it is. It is Zhang Yang Lee that is fighting, not Ju Sang Yu. I apologize to these South Korean fighters. I've made this mistake multiple times this week. Zhang Yang Lee is fighting. Ju Sang Yu pulled out. I will correct that immediately. Thank you, guys. Please, Jose, take that graphic off. Take that horrendous graphic. That's my
Oh
fault off
God.
the screen.
Oh God.
I know. Embarrassing. I actually
Hold
feel
on
really
one
bad
second.
about that.
Where
I did that
this
on
go?
onto the next one as well. Very, very stupid. Please tell me I didn't even, guys, do not go to MMAfighting.com right now. Do not go to MMAfighting.com right now and check the fight schedule. Okay,
What
don't
threw
do
me
that.
for a loop
Fight schedule page.
is MMA Media Days still had Dusko Todorovic on the schedule and not Cody Brundage.
Yeah, that was weird. That was really weird. Yeah.
So it threw me for a loop.
Yeah, so anyone
that he showed up.
disappointed to not see. But they had both. They had Dante Johnson and they had Dusko on this. Sorry, they had Cody Brundage and Dusko Todorovic on the schedule.
They had Dusko on expected athletes, but then Cody Brundage on the actual schedule. So I'm like, you're stop messing with my heart.
Yeah. You were really hoping to see Dusko Todorovic, I heard.
I always got along with Dusko when we were on Fight Island.
I heard you want to do it. I heard you want to do
it.
I heard you want to do anything but fighting with him.
It's because when he signed to fun fact, when he signed to the UFC, he was going for his like masters or whatever the equivalent is back where he's from. And every time I would bring it up, if he had gotten his dissertation ready, he would be like, "Shh, stop asking." It's just stressing him out. So I would love to do one.
Oh, wow.
Speaking of which, we got fun one with
really
Dover going out tomorrow.
Okay.
I confidently say.
You got a fun with. He's very excited about it.
That's literally why it's coming out, because he's like, I was gonna save it for a rainy day, and then he started posting about it on his social media. He's like, "Can't wait for you guys to see this 30-minute chat about video games," and I was like, "Oh, I guess we're doing it." I can confidently say it's the nerdiest conversation I've
mentioned
ever had.
it during his media day.
Yeah. We also got movement.
Yeah, he mentioned it during his media day too. He was like, "Oh, I was so excited! Yo, I got to talk to this guy. I got to talk to this guy about anime. It was great." And I'm like, "Geez."
Oh, Charles is here.
Oh, thank goodness. Our weigh-in page correctly has John Youngly. Here comes Charles. I'm gonna shut up now, guys. I made enough of a mess of it.
All right, next man to the scale, the gentleman around whom this fight card was built, the former undisputed UFC lightweight champion, number 3 ranked contender, Charles Dubronx Oliveira. $156, the official weight for Charles Oliveira. With that, your BMF Championship main event is now official.
There you go. 156 for Charles Oliveira. As the man, John Anik, said, the fight with Max Holloway now official for the BMF title, Saturday's main event. I'm just going to send an updated graphic here with the corrections. Again, I do want to apologize to John Young Lee. Excuse me. I'm already. John Young Lee. For having sent you on there, and also for everyone who pointed it out. Thank you. That's just a very stupid amateurish mistake to make. So
Rookie.
yeah, but either way, we have not Either way, we have not seen Zhang Yang Li yet. So he is one of 3 fighters left to weigh in. The only prelim fighter left, and then we just need Caio Bajallo for the main event, and Rob Font, who fights Raul Rosas Jr. So there you go, guys. We have moved at quite a pace. I have a feeling we'll be done by quarter to. That was 156 for Charles Oliveira. Again, a reminder to people: BMF title not recognized in the same way as the undisputed UFC titles, so there is a 1 pound allowance. You do not have to hit 155 or lower. Sorry, guys. Let me keep going to some of the comments here. Musty says a lot of managers are scammers. I think Eddie and Tom have similar interests. It can mutually benefit each other. I agree, and I do think there's sort of this obviously friendly or not so friendly rivalry going on with Dana White and Eddie Hearn. So Eddie's going to want to make sure he can kind of stick it to Dana here, and hopefully that means getting Tom Aspinall as much money as possible. Lazy Bed says Jed Meshew versus Chuck Mindenhall on Prob Quiz today. Predictions. I can't remember. Obviously, this is a guy who was filmed earlier, so I'm actually not going to say anything. I can't remember if someone has nodded the result to me or not, so I'm not going to say anything. Must be problematic. AK. I know, guys. What a mistake. Yeah, it doesn't matter because they got to come to you eventually. Jube's asking, during the next weigh-in break, what are your thoughts on Francis and PFL parting ways? Oh, right. We had a little breaking news this morning, didn't we? Shout outs to Mike Pendleton. Mike Pendleton, for Sure Dog. He broke the story as far as I remember. Yes, he is the man who broke the story. Mike, we see you. Well done. Francis Ngannou no longer with the PFL. Not a huge surprise to anyone, I don't think. There's been this sort of cagey dance going on between the PFL and Francis over the last 4 months or so. He wasn't included in their rankings. I think they later did put him in. John Martin has been dancing around saying what their plans are for Francis. So you have to think that this was these discussions were in the works for a while, whether they would just unconditionally release him. So, I don't know what the full details are, because Francis was also involved for them in an executive way. He was the chairman of PFL Africa. So I imagine there was other salary things involved here besides just his fight purses when he actually competed for them that one time. But I'm sure it sounds like they have worked it out. So Francis Ngannou, free agent. I have said for a long time, I do not think the bridge to the UFC is burned. I know him and Dana White, just from a personal standpoint, do not get along. What was that? Was that a yawn?
No, I'm like, I don't know how true that is. I have a feeling he's going to be to be on this Rousey Carano card.
I mean, that makes a lot of sense. The only thing is, I feel like he deserves. I agree with you. I think he's going to Netflix. I think he gets his own card, though.
I don't.
Well, he's not.
Then they're going to introduce
he's not
him
on
to
the
the
Rousey
mass.
Carano.
I think he's going to be introduced to the masses on that card, and then from there you can go.
This is true. He only has one MMA fight in the last 2 years, excuse me. I mean, the boxing, Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua, I think, had a ton of buzz in the fight world. But I think based on the reported pay-per-view buys or rumored pay-per-view buys, it didn't really hit a mainstream chord. So I think Jose is right. He is nowhere near the level of, a casual name recognition as Gina or. So that does make a lot of sense.
Oh, Caio Bajallo's right here.
Who do we got?
Caio
Bajallo.
All right, next man to the scale, the other half of the co-main event, the number 7 ranked UFC middleweight contender, Caio Bajallo. $186, the official weight for Caio Bajallo. That means your co-main event is now official.
That's right. Caio Borralho
I
and
believe
Reiner de
so.
Ritter is official. Both men have successfully made weight. We are only waiting on Robert Font and Zhang Yang Li. Zhang Yang Li, guys, fighting on the prelims. Zhang Yang Li stepping in for Ju Sang Yu. Undisclosed, I believe. I don't know if we know the reason for Ju Sang Yu's withdrawal. If anyone has inside scoop on that, throw in the comments. But yes, just to continue the talk about Francis. I still think there's a chance. Jose's right. I think the next thing for him is try and get the MVP card. I think there's Netflix is throwing money around right now, and if you're Francis and his team, you get a piece of that pie because you can make and have another big payday. The man has been getting big paydays since leaving the UFC. Guys, you can criticize the inactivity. You could, maybe the mileage may vary with his boxing endeavors, but he has been lining
He's a
those
prize
points,
fighter.
and that is a good thing if you're a prize fighter. He's a prize fighter, especially one who will turn 40, I think, at the end of this year. So he is maximizing his time. He is a heavyweight. He can probably fight for another 5 years if he wants, but I imagine he'd also want to have the option to make money and get out of there. So. I'm going to check real quick. I don't know because it was, if anything was changed to a catch weight, because like I said, Jung Hyung Lee coming in short notice. No, it looks like that is a featherweight bout still. And we're reading a Rob Font as well. So, yes, wishing Francis the best, wishing the PFL the best. And I still think down the road, like I said, we will see Francis fight in the UFC again. When he left, I said that he'll be back someday. I know things between him and Dana White are really bad, but I just don't know if that would stop them from making money. But I would if I were to say odds, I would go like 60-40. Like I think 60-40. That's how confident I am he would fight in the UFC again. But it's entirely possible the issues that Francis has with Dana White and I don't know other people in the UFC might keep him out of there. Might keep him out of there, especially with the amount of money that he probably the tax bracket he's in now. Could be really difficult for him to land on the same page again. So,
Ladies and gentlemen, due to
all right.
getting all excited with those camps.
Oh no.
Due to weight management issues, the featherweight tilt between Junyong Lee and Gaston Bolaños has been canceled. The weight management issues on the side of Junyong Lee, who will not weigh in this morning.
Oh no! So that is official, guys. Jung Kyung Lee versus Gaston Bolaños will not be happening. Tough situation because Lee was stepping in on about 2 weeks' notice. No excuses. We always say you signed that contract, you should make it. But I always say, man, these managers have got to work out some kind of catch weight if you can. Push it to a catch weight. That bout is now canceled. Which is fine. We're now down to 12 bouts on the card, 24 fighters. Oh boy, okay. So only waiting for Rob Font. Let me update a little graphic here for Jose. I'm breaking out the red text, guys. When you see red text, that means fight is either means someone missed weight or fight is not happening. This is a fight is not happening situation. But please, guys, we saw last weekend Regina Rahina Tareen. Now she jumped in on much shorter notice. She jumped in on 3 days notice. So they gave it, they added like 5 pounds to the weight, 130-pound catch weight instead of a flyweight bout, which is what her and Ernesta Karakaiti normally compete at. And that was great. And it worked out. They made weight. I think they won fight of the night. That's how it should be. I know 2 weeks, I'm sure people say it's plenty of time, but
Waiting for Rob.
making weight sucks. And I wish Lee's team had managed to negotiate a catch weight. Maybe that wouldn't have made things easier. I don't know. But why couldn't this happen at 150, 151, 152? It's a preliminary featherweight bout, respectfully. I don't think anyone's going to care whether it happened at 145 or not. I'm sure if you're Gaston Bolaños, you would have been happy to, I don't have to cut an extra 5, 6, 7 pounds. Like if you told him, again, if you made this arrangement when the fight was signed 2 weeks ago. It's just silly, man. Hopefully, John Young Lee is all right, and maybe this gets rebooked, or I don't know. I just hate to see stuff like that. That's a real bummer, man. Yeah, Jubes commenting. I don't understand why fighters who take fights on short notice don't negotiate for cash weights. I mean, it could be their opponent too. Honestly, it could be their opponent saying, "No, you have 2 weeks, you have 3 weeks, whatever it is, just make the weight." But it happens so frequently that the weight doesn't change. And again, I don't do a ton. I'm not super in the know, but obviously I work with people who are. I work with like the Mike Hecks and the Game Cruises and the David Martins of the world who are always talking to fighters. And as far as I hear, it's just not something that comes up often. It is like just like, oh, you signed on for short notice fight, and that's it. I don't think a lot of inquiries are made as far as can we turn this into a catchweight bout. So please do this going forward. Again, we are talking about fights with very little effect on the rankings. It is not as if we care about where this fight places Gaston Bolaños or Jung Young Lee after tonight. It's just to keep everyone on the card and to keep guys getting paid. So really frustrating to see. And I hope guys we see more catchweight bouts in the future. I don't even think fans care. I don't know if they think fans care. Like fans, like I don't want to see a catchweight bout. Again, maybe not on the main card, maybe not with bigger names, but this is a preliminary bout. Fans won't even know by the time it rolls around. Joseph Moses says maybe Vegas didn't allow him to fight on short notice. No, that makes no sense because he signed the fight 2 weeks ago. They would have told him 2 weeks ago that he's not allowed to fight on short notice. So I don't. It's not. It's a weight cutting issue. That's fine. Again, he came in on 15 days. I think 15 days was when the fight was first reported. So silly stuff, man. All right, let's do a little rain dance here while we wait for the last person again. Just waiting on Rob Font. Jose is. I thought he was gonna
What's up?
focus on the nothing. I was just saying what a handsome man you are.
Repeat it for the people in the back.
Adam, I will not. Adamantism saying they should get the option of either no cup or 30% of their purse taken away. Oh my gosh. Okay, that's a little, it's a little extreme, but
That's crazy.
listen, there's no we're brainstorming here. There's no bad solutions. Mariners fan says everyone thinks they can make the weight. Yeah, honestly, that's really it. I'm sure if you asked Jung Hyung Lee when he signed the contract, he's like, yeah, no problem, 145 or 146, 2 weeks notice, I got it, and that was it. It doesn't even want to worry about the hassle of a catch weight. Wants the fight to be at featherweight. I get it. Guys want to be at their ideal weight. But you guys, people have to be realistic. Again, Rahina Tureen, I'm sure her team said right away, yo, there's no way she can make 125 on 3 days' notice. Can we do a catch weight? It was very short notice. I bet the UFC didn't put much fight against it. I'm sure Karachaiti didn't either. Fight of the night. Guess what? The fight stayed on the card. Both women went home with an extra 100 grand USD. So let's try and find solutions here. Okay, let's do the rain dance here, guys. Let me see what I got. At the top of the card, Max Holloway, Charles Oliveira for the BMF title. Max Holloway 155.5, Charles Oliveira 156. This is a rematch from a bout in, what was it, guys? 2014 in Saskatoon, 2015, August 2015, Saskatoon. We got less than 2 minutes of action for a neck injury rendered Charles Oliveira unable to continue.
That was such.
I'm so happy
peak-
we're getting this fight.
That was such peak Fox Sports pacing. If you remember that, like, I remember like for
I don't.
years, for a very long time. I wasn't at MMA Fighting yet. I think I can't remember which outlet I was with, but like I would do a lot of like
FanDuel? Or was that before FanDuel?
I've never worked for FanDuel. I never worked for FanDuel. Fan-sided maybe.
I'm so sorry.
Um,
I'm so sorry.
And I did a lot of like matchmaker posts, and like every featherweight, I would be like, I need Charles versus Max. That was my original Zombie versus Ortega. Remember, I kept bringing it up when I joined MMA Fighting. I kept asking for Max Charles, and then when it finally came around,
That's right.
when it finally came around, that fight card was so long because of the Fox Sports pacing and the commercials and everything. And the whole time I remember thinking like, it's okay.
Right. Well, Jose,
it's okay.
let's play a
We're
little
getting
game.
the main card. Yep. What's up?
Okay, Jose, let's play a little game. You, as we
Yeah.
all know, you are the master of memory. You are the
Okay.
master of memory when it comes to MMA.
Yeah.
Of course, the main event, Max Holloway, Charles Oliveira, as you mentioned, happened at 145 pounds. Now 155. All right, Jose. What other fights came over this year? Let's try and go in order. I'm sure you'll get this. What was the co-main event?
I don't think I could get them in order. I know the co-main event was Neil Magny and Eric Silva.
Okay, correct. Okay,
And
now
I
yeah, let's
know,
just
and
okay.
I
That's
know,
just that
and
one. Now let's go. How
and
about main card? Can you remember main
I
card?
know Patrick O'Tate knocked out Josh Berkman. I know OIM won, but I don't remember who he
Correct. That
beat.
was the next fight. Yes, that was a featured one.
I do not remember who he beat. I know Valerie
Okay,
Valerie
very
Letourneau
hard, very
beat
hard.
Marina Moroz. And
Correct.
who's the other tough
Yes.
Nations guy? Chad Laprise lost, but I don't remember who he lost to.
Yep.
I'm
He
not
did.
gonna remember.
He lost
Is it
to
another tough guy?
one
Is it
of the
another tough
most
guy?
like 30. He's had like
Oh,
no. It's a guy with like 25 UFC appearances.
what
and, like,
nationality is he? Is he American? Is he
Brazilian.
Brazilian? Or is he Canadian?
Brazilian.
Oh,
Brazilian.
Oh, he had a ton of fights. You know, at welterweight, probably Francisco Trinaldo, probably.
Ton of fights.
Yeah, that's a tough Brazil guy, is he not?
Ronaldo, correct? Yes.
Is he
OAM
tough?
beat Tony. Oh yes, right. He was a middleweight. Yes, he was competing at middleweight. It's very strange. I think it could be a middleweight. It was really strange. The immortal Tony Sims was the man who lost to Oliveira Garcia.
Yeah, I never would have remembered
Tony
that.
Sims, who, by the way, who fought Drew Dober once at a FTW event in October 2013. So there you go. 6 degrees of Tony Sims happening here. Anything from the prelims jumping out at you? These are some names I have not heard in a long time.
I think Misha Serkinov is on that card. He might have been one of the first fights.
Correct.
I remember.
I think
he kicked it off. I think he kicked it off with a bang, right?
Dan Jolly. Misha was.
And then
He did.
know,
and Misha was so hyped. I don't know if you know how hyped. Remember how hyped Misha was?
I do. Because I put together this whole super card where he fights Jimmy Manuwa on the same card as Bisping and GSP for a kind of Canadian versus UK type thing. And I know Frankie Perez was on that card because I was living in Arizona at the time, and he was like one of the Arizona guys. But I have absolutely no recollection of who he fought.
Yes.
I think
you can. He won by 4-second knockout against a Canadian staple. This man fought. This guy used to be like on every time they came up to Canada.
No. Yeah. Is he in a big trilogy fight with someone that never fought for the title?
He was, yes.
Oh, Sam Stout.
Sam Stout. Well done.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know if we'll get these.
I remember him getting melted, but I outside of that, I could not remember anyone else on that card.
Okay. Can I give you the rest of the card?
Tell me.
Bantamweight bout between Felipe Arantes and Yves Jabouin. Light heavyweight bout, Nikita Krylov beating Marcos Rogerio de Lima.
No way.
Flyweights, Chris Kalidas defeating Chris Beal. And Shane Campbell beating Elias Silverio. UFC Saskatoon, August 2015, the last time Max Holloway and Charles Oliveira fought. Wow.
I thought Chris Beal was going to...
Sorry, guys. I was supposed to do
I thought Chris Beal
weigh in rundown. He was good. I mean...
He had that... I think he had that fight.
Okay, let me do the weight. Sorry.
Williams in Baltimore. Someone fact check me on that.
Stop showing off. In the co-main event, guys, middleweights, Kyle Bahalio and Reiner de Ritter both making weight. Bahalio 186, de Ritter 185.5. In need of a win, trying to stay in that middleweight title picture, which just somehow ended up not moving at all. Like after Chimaev won, we had a pretty clear picture of like, oh, okay, well, these are the guys who have fights lined up. If this guy beats this guy or this guy beats this guy, whoever's more impressive is going to get that title shot. But we are now in March of 2026. All these guys have fought in the top 10, and we have no clue who is fighting Chimaev next. So that's a lot of fun. That was our biggest fear, I think, when Khamzat won the belt. Everyone was like, oh, man, if he wins the belt, it's going to be like a while waiting for him to fight again. You guys were right. I was wrong. I was very excited to see Chimaev win the belt. Now
a couple of the media were like fantasy match.
I'm not so excited anymore.
the next few, like the summer
Uh-huh.
cards, and if he fights in this rumored Philly card, I think that'd be a lot of fun.
Let's hope. God, Hamza, just get back in there and stop trying to go 205. Just defend the middleweight belt. Rob Font, guys, the one name we are still waiting for. I was hoping this would summon him. Perhaps when we get to the end of this, he will show up. His opponent, Raul Rosas Jr., 135.5. 21-year-old now, I believe, Raul Rosas.
It's his first fight in Vegas
No
as a
longer
21-year-old.
7. Oh, how time flies. That's right. Well, that was asked this week. Is he going to go buck wild now? He's 21 years old. I don't see him doing that. Let's hope not. Be
Putting
responsible,
everything on
Raul.
red,
Be
he said.
responsible. Everything on red. That means roulette reference. Yes. Drew Dober, 156 for his fight with Michael Johnson, 155.5. These guys have been circling each other forever. Finally, fingers crossed, we will get to see them step into the octagon. And Gregory Rodriguez and Bruno Ferreira. That is a rematch. Gregory Rodriguez, 186. Bruno Ferreira, 184. Ferreira surprisingly just KO'd Rodriguez the first time they fought. But it's Rodriguez who has a ranking next to his name now. He has bounced back well. Ferreira, the results have been a little inconsistent. Closing out the prelims, former UFC champion Cody Garbrandt made 136. His opponent, Sao Long, 135.5. Dante Johnson, 185.5. He takes on short notice opponent Cody Brundage, also 185.5. As we mentioned earlier, Cody Brundage stepping in for Dusko Todorovic. Ricky Tercios, 146, going up to featherweight, pretty Ricky. And look out for his interview, his Anything But Fighting with Jose, went up earlier this week. He fights Alberto Montez, also 145.5. And then the third Cody of the night, Cody Durden, 125.5. His opponent, Nyamjargal Tumandembarul, 125.5. By the way, y'all, don't bet on MMA, I always say. But if you want to have some fun, all the Codys are underdogs. So we Jed and I have a little anti-Cody bet going. Depending where you go, guys, you can get about, if you parlay all the Cody's opponents to win, so you pick all the favorites in those Cody matchups, you can get it like plus 200. So there you go, guys. You got, like, just for fun, you want to try the anti-Cody bet, go for it. But hey, if you believe in one of these Codys pulling off a win, I would not go against you. But yes, this is what I like to call the Damone Blackshear parlay. Real ones know what that means. Damone Blackshear parlay. So there you go, guys. What else we got? Zumba Ergi, 126 for his fight with Jesus Aguilar, 125.5. I got to pronounce this right because our own Guillermo Cruz just sent me a note. Let me make sure I do this right. Rafael Tobias, not Rafael Tobias. Rafael Tobias, 204 for his fight with DR Nogazai, 205.5. We lost a fight. Zhang Yang Li stepping in on less than 2 weeks' notice for Ju Sang Yu, and unfortunately, due to weight management issues on the Li side, his fight with Gaston Bolaños has been canceled, has been removed from Saturday's card. Gaston did weigh in, 145.5. And then opening up the show, Luke Fernandez, 205, and Adolfo Balato, 204.5. There we go, guys. We have about 15 minutes left in the weigh-in window. Frankly, I'm not super worried about Rob Font. As I said, he missed weight like 3 years ago. And I get it. He is a bit of an older fighter, so maybe these weight cuts, especially in the lighter divisions, are becoming more difficult. But I'm not too worried about it. He's had a couple of catchweight bouts, scheduled catchweight bouts in the past. So we'll see, guys. Rob Font has plenty of time. Max Rabkin wants to know, Jose/AK, is Dana... Jose, you guys remind me of this. Is Dana referring to Gregory Rodriguez as Greg, like 3 years ago, an underrated all-time funny moment?
1,000%. I remember losing my mind at like the post show or something.
Give me the context. Give me the context, please.
I just think I can't remember what he was, but someone was asked. He asked him a question in like the post-fight presser. Instead of calling Gregory, it was just Dana White just kept calling him Greg, and I don't know why that's so funny to me. That's where the phrase Greg Pop came from.
That's where the phrase Greg. I did not know that.
Me and Casey, our old colleague, and I think it was Mike, or might have been Jed, might have been Shaheen maybe, but I kept calling him Greg Cop, and since then I've called him Greg Cop.
I love it.
That's so funny to me still
I
to
love
think
it.
about.
Someone I'm looking at the comments. Is this on are we on Twitch as well?
We are.
Jose, are we? Oh my
And
gosh. So is this
and
comment free
and the
Isaiah
free what?
free Sia hater? I don't know. I think they're on. I think this is on Twitch. No, I've got the comments on, but there's some of them from YouTube, some of them from Twitch. Who is Rob Font? I think they asked. Guys, Rob Font is. Let me tell you something about Rob Font. This is why I make notes for these shows. Rob Font will be making his 21st UFC appearance, 19 of which will be at 135 pounds, trailing only the great Pedro Munoz at 22 and the equally great Marlon Chito Vera at 23 for the most appearances by 135er in UFC history. He is coming off a loss to David Martinez. He has won only 3 of his last. Oh, why am I making myself do math quickly? Of his last 8 fights, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, 3 of his last 8 fights. But it's all. I mean, guys, look at who Rob Font has fought. David Martinez, again, who we now know is a top 10 guy. Shion Matsumoto, one of the best prospects out there right now. Kyler Phillips, Davison Figueiredo, former UFC champion. Corey Sandhagen just fought for the title recently. Adrian Yanez, top contender. Chito Vera, we mentioned him. Jose Aldo, one of the greats of all time. Cody Garbrandt, former UFC champion. Mullen Ice, former World Series of Fighting champion and UFC title contender. So it's all just killers for Rob Font. Just a really fun guy to have around. And we're hoping he has no issue making weight. But, it gets a little bit harder. His previous miss, 2.5 pounds for an April 2022 fight with Chito, which won fight of the night. And I think that means Chito just got like $100,000 at the time. There you go, guys. That's who Rob Font is. What perplex? What is a Rob Font? Well, that's a deeper question. Twitch crew, what's up? Twitch crew in the house. Main event talk, guys. I have not finalized my predictions for this card. I'm sticking by sort of my gut when the fight was announced, and probably any discussion I've had the fight since. I think Max Holloway. I think I'll lean towards Max Holloway. Jose, I know you don't love giving predictions, but you don't have to say either way. But what's your sort of quick prognosis for how this one's going to play out?
I mean, Max just looks pretty unbelievable at lightweight.
Mm-hmm.
My gut says Max. My heart says I hope both men come out healthy.
Yeah. Yeah, most importantly. And hey, maybe someday down the road, guys, maybe we get a third one. Honestly, I wouldn't rule it out and would love to see it. Right now, again, talking gambling, don't bet on MMA. But if you must, I would recommend using FanDuel. FanDuel has Max Holloway at minus 215, Charles Oliveira at plus 172. So a slight underdog, Charles Oliveira, a little more than slight. And Max Holloway, pretty respectable favorite. I'm trying to see what else we got here. Max Holloway by knockout, plus 170, guys. If you think Max finishes him, I say again, though I know the first one was an injury. Max Holloway by submission, plus 1,500. So if you are feeling frisky, guys, and you think Max finally get to show off that jiu-jitsu, who he's always talking about, is a plus 1,500 for Max. Charles Oliveira by submission, plus 330. That's actually pretty good number. Will the fight go the distance? Yes, plus 178. Okay, so I'm a little. Wait a minute. Right. Yes. Okay, that's right. People expect it to not go the distance, right? Especially but I love this fight, guys. Max and Charles, 2 of the most beloved fighters of this generation. There's no question. Their accomplishments are crazy. Their highlights are crazy. It really would have been a shame if we never got to see them run it back properly, just because that first fight essentially just didn't happen. Like, yeah, a win for Holloway in the record books, and I think, skill-wise, they're leagues beyond what they were that first time. So this is a real privilege. While we're talking about stats, and by the way, shout out to Mike Bond and Michael Carroll, always putting up their pre-event facts. What do we got here? We've got Max Holloway is tied for the most UFC wins with Andrei Arlovski, Donald Cerrone at 23, behind Neil Magny and Charles Oliveira, both with 24, and of course the unmatchable Jim Miller, currently at 27. Max has the 4th most knockouts, tied for it, behind Vitor Belfort at 12, Matt Brown, the immortal, and Damon Martin's podcast buddy, Matt Brown, 15, and Derek Lewis at 16. Let's go.
Live in a feature bout on the main card, the number 13 ranked bantamweight contender, Rob Font. 136, the official weight for Rob Font.
4, 3, 2, 1. Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right, thank you all for coming out. See you for ceremonials later today.
All right, guys, you saw that. Everyone made weight. I will do a rundown though, Jose. Let's do
my
one
fault.
last graphic up here for the people. Oh, do you have time, Jose? Are they kicking
Oh
you
yeah.
out?
Oh yeah. Oh no, we got time.
Okay. Let me send this graphic real quick. The people paid for an hour of weigh-ins, and I'm going to give them at least 54.5 minutes of weigh-ins.
Right.
Okay, I don't stiff people, you know. So let's update this here, guys. Let's see the final tally. Not without its hiccups, guys. Not without its hiccups. I kind of tweeted somewhat facetiously ahead of UFC Houston, I think it was, that like we've had some
You see
funny
Roman hit that nuke?
weigh-in stuff going on.
Oh my god. It warms my heart.
We had who was it that fell off the scale? Was it Smotherman?
Yeah.
Yeah, Cameron Smotherman doing a very scary flop off of the scale. We've had some big, young Aaron Tao trying to cheat the scale with the use of the box. That was something. Last week I think we're okay, or the 2 weeks before that. Well, last week we were okay, definitely no
So
one
you go,
missed.
okay.
Houston, we had Phil Rowe. Thank you, Jose. Kind of missed, but he did make it on his second attempt. So I think we're okay. I think we're back on track. And looks like our third week in a row. Well, no, we're not back on track, are we? Because we lost the fight. Okay, let's get to that in a second. In the main event, Max Holloway and Charles Oliveira for the BMF title, not under the same parameters as of undisputed belts. They were allowed a 1 pound allowance, and both men used it. Max Holloway, 155.5 pounds. Charles Oliveira, 156. The co-main event, some serious stakes here. Middleweight contenders Kyle Bahalio, 186. Reiner de Ritter, 185.5. Rob Font, the veteran, at 136, takes on fast-rising 21-year-old Raul Rosas Jr., 135.5. Drew Dober and Michael Johnson felt like this was destined to happen. Drew Dober, 156, Michael Johnson, 155.5. Gregory Rodriguez and 186, and Bruno Ferreira, 184, to open the main card and for a rematch with Bruno Ferreira having knocked out Gregory Rodriguez the first time they fought. Cody Garbrandt, 136, the former UFC champion. He's given Xiao Long an opportunity. Xiao at 135.5. Undefeated. The undefeated Dante Johnson, 185.5. Hold on, I gotta. Thank you. That was. Oh my gosh, what's her name? She's a very good broadcaster. I apologize for not. I believe that was Caroline Pierce. We heard in the background. So we don't want to talk over Caroline. I'm sure Caroline didn't mean to talk over us. Anyway, undefeated Dante Johnson. Dante Johnson, 185.5. Cody Brundage, 185.5. Cody Brundage coming in on short notice for Dusko Todorovic. Ricky Tercios, 146, going up to featherweight for the first time in the UFC. Alberto Montes, 145.5. Cody Durden, 125.5. He takes on Nyamjargal Tumandembarel, 125.5. Sumad Ergi, 126. We got more flyweight action. He takes on Jesus Aguilar, 125.5. Rafael Tobias, 204. Fights DR Nogazai, 205.5. We lost a fight, guys. We are down to 12 fights now. Jung Yong Lee, weight management issues. He was coming in on short notice about 2 weeks for Ju Sang Yu, and it looks like the cut was a little too much. Did not show up to the scales. It was announced that fight has been canceled. His fight with Gaston Bolaños. Bolaños did weigh in 145.5. And then opening up the entire show, light heavyweights, Luke Fernandez, 205, and Adolfo Bellato, 204.5. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in and joining us. Pop by later, guys. We will have a preview show later today at 3 p.m. ET, noon local time, if you happen to be in Las Vegas like Jose or just somewhere generally on the West Coast. And, of course, there'll be a pre-fight Q&A on Saturday. As always, there'll be a watch party. As always, there'll be all the great cards from MMAfighting.com, as always. And keep your eye on the space, guys. Keep your eye on our socials. Jose is bringing you clips and interviews. Watch Anything But Fighting, guys. He's getting a side of these fighters that you don't normally see. Talking a lot about anime. I don't understand half of it, but it is fascinating stuff. So for Jose and for MMA Fighting, I am signing off, and I will see you all at 3 o'clock. I'll see you all in a couple hours. Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.